Natsume! United States of America. Something too quick for me to read. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, some of the text is too quick to read and others last on screen far too long. I have not sped any of this up, I swear. Also, if you hear my voice, this is the commentated version of this video. If you hate commentary, there's going to be an annotation link shortly, which will take you to just the version with game sound. Hopefully. So, this is Shadow of Ninja, also known as Kage, I probably pronounced that incorrectly, in Japan. It's a decent-ish platformer. I figured, why not? It's been a while since I've done a obscure game boss run, so I figured, why not? And yes, we took the boss names straight from Game Center CX, so that's where I got the boss names from. And this is the video where I describe exactly what the hell's going on, because some of the strategies in this are weird. These all took quite a few attempts. There was no such thing as an easy boss fight up until I learnt the strategies. For example, the Sea Captain. If you're any distance away from him, his slide ratchets it up to unmanageable speeds and is almost undodgeable. Staying close to him, however, he falls very easily. It took far too many attempts to actually learn that. So for a first mid-boss, it was actually quite tough. Missileman took fewer attempts than the Sea Captain. That's basically I caught onto his gimmick straight away. If you stay underneath him, he doesn't wave backwards and forwards like he does there. Basically, if you decide to want to move out the way, he wobble backwards and forwards, and it's actually pretty hard to dodge. But if you stay underneath him, he just casually doesn't do that, and well, let's talk about this boss. There we go, that's just a bit more of a wobble. So if you start running away, he does it the entire length of the scream, which is kind of weird. Kind of like the Sea Captain. You want to stay as close as possible. This isn't the case for most bosses, but it's certainly the case for these two. Anyway, the rules for this boss run was I could only use the basic sword, which made some of these bosses so much harder than they should have been. Because the sword is pathetic. And this is the water dragon. It doesn't have a health bar, but there's only one in the game and you are forced to defeat it, therefore I'm counting it as a mid-boss. It got called a dragon on the Game Center CX show, so there's that. If you're wondering why I'm jumping, it's because when it's nearly dead, it ratchets out at such speed you need to actually jump in order to dodge it. Hence the jumps at the end there. And now we've got Killer Tang, which is one of the two really tedious bosses in the game. Particularly if you're going for a no damage run. First thing you want to do is destroy that bottom gun. It's too much of a hassle if you leave it alive. And the rest is waiting for the right pattern of bullets. No, really. It's kind of unfortunate. Because it would have been a neat boss otherwise, but it just sort of ends up being really tedious. Turns out there is actually a safe spot in this battle, which is right in front of it. Which is just silly. That has to be one of the silliest safe spots I've seen in a video game for quite some time. And yeah. I think the most amount of hits you can get on a pass is 3, and that will depend entirely on what bullet spread you're using. By the way, I didn't make the name up. The names came straight from Game Center CX, which I assume are translated more accurately in some of the other articles I've seen about this game, so I went with the Game Center CX names, and I've already run out of things to say about this guy, other than the fact you stand in front of it and you're immune to its bullets. So this boss is silly, tedious, and takes far too long to kill. That's about it. So sorry about the tediousness, but I wanted to maintain a no damage run, which is the main primary goal of the boss runs, is no damage. The lowest power-ups is the secondary rule, but Again, there was no reason to upgrade myself. I was not forced to upgrade myself, therefore I'm stuck using the wimpy sword. Oh well. You can probably tell by this point, as a player, I'm getting bored of this boss. Out of everything in the game, this took the fewest attempts, because, oh, it's pretty easy. In fact, 90% of the attempts were lost just to taking out the gun at the bottom. Oh, strange. I've got to say, it looks rather impressive for the NES. Particularly the tank tread animation looks pretty cool. Pretty damn cool indeed. It's a shame that the boss sucks so much, really. Past this point in the game, there's no more mid-bosses. We're just left with end-of-stage bosses, which I found a bit odd. But, you know, Natsume! And that was one dull boss fight. Unfortunately, it's not the only tedious boss fight in the game. There's one more coming up later, which is super tedious. And took ages the best because of how tedious it was. This is the Golden Samurai. His stick is he breaks apart when you hit him about 3 times. No, really. So for the first part of this battle, you'll notice his health bar doesn't go down. This is because from this point onward, bosses have actually more health than the health bars allow. Which is a bit dumb. Battle doesn't last that long though, because as I said, you take 3 hits, he gets knocked backwards, doesn't even get a chance to attack most of the time. Once he starts actually showing damage on his health bar, you'll notice I start moving backwards to avoid his sword strike. At this point he's gained a small speed boost. It's just enough of a speed boost that he can't actually get 3 strikes in before he swipes his sword. And he gets another speed boost when he's nearly dead. So you'll notice me constantly backtracking. The one thing to remember about this particular boss is don't get cornered. That's it. Which almost happened there. As I had to backtrack quite a bit there to avoid his sword strike. The speed boost is noticeable. But it's fairly easy. It's just getting the timing down on the last couple of hits, really. And here we've got just another stupid safe spot. Captain Hawk is his name. He has a hawk and he kicks. And you sit there and he can't hurt you. His bird can, but this bird is some of the weirdest AI I've seen in a video game. If you're in the middle of slashing while it's diving, it will retreat. And once it does so much damage to the captain, he transforms into the Birdman thing. Now you're probably wondering why the hell I'm running backwards and forwards like that. This is actually me counting. Out loud, whilst recording, I was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. As the bird form has differing times for his dive attacks. So one of them, I think it's about 5 passes, and one's about 7. I really should have counted. But basically, I just had to learn how many, well, wiggles it took. And that's how I kept count during this battle. Looks a bit ridiculous, but you know, it works. It actually works really well. And boss is down. Unfortunately, that's the last of the non-tedious bosses. We're left with the final boss, Emperor Garuda himself. Who is tediousness personified. My god, this guy took so long to actually get right, it's unfunny. Not because he's hard either, he's not a hard boss. He's just super tedious. Like, super tedious. Yet again, health bar doesn't show damage for quite some time during this battle. There's far too much health for isn't good. On top of that, he also gets a speed boost when nearly dead, and that speed boost is a killer. It's the only part of the boss fight that's actually hard, and it's a murderer. At least it was until I found a safe spot. Again. But the fight remains tediousness. It looks cool for the first few passes, and then you're doing this for about 4 minutes. Again, it probably because I'm just using the basic sword, but even with the upgraded weapons, this fight takes forever. Like, this fight just takes so long to defeat. The sword doesn't help though. Actually, I do a lot of really risky things throughout the fight because I'm just bored. I think at one point I go stop the safe spots. I'm going in the corner just to see what would happen. But this boss took far too many attempts because you just lose concentration. You seriously do. I might have ever hit him then. Oh, see, his health bar still hasn't gone down any. Yeah, this guy has a lot of health. This is not how you design final bosses. This fight could have actually been really good if he just, you know, took damage normally. But instead he's all there dodging the same 3 boring attacks. Even when he gets to his final form, which admittedly it's a massive speed boost, he still only uses these 3 attacks. His health bar should go down now. And what killed most of the attempts was me guessing when he changed his form incorrectly, because at that point you want to be in a certain position on the playing field. There. If you're there, he can't really hurt you aside from that sword slash. His other attacks miss. But he's also really hard to hit while it's like this. So I had to practice the jump slash and get the timing just right in order to hit him and avoid the sword slash. My god, this killed so many attempts, and as you saw, it was already a long boss fight. So this boss run has been on my hard drive for the best part of a year now, and the final boss has kept it on the we've still got to do this list. So every so often I try and do this final boss and get annoyed after losing to the final form, but eventually I managed it. In sheer playing time, it's not the longest anything's taken on this channel. Something else has taken much longer than this. But this boss is just so tedious. It rots your brain, honestly. But at least we get to enjoy the ending cutscenes, which, like the intro, have text which is all different speeds and actually quite hard to read. I could have been wrong actually. Maybe the ending does have like overly long text. I just sort of put the controller down and walked away and let the credits record. Because it's like, okay, that's enough. Oh, this game was, for the most part, if it weren't for that final boss, I would have enjoyed this game a lot more, but the final boss just sort of killed the enjoyment actually just a tad. It's got to be one of the worst final bosses I've fought in a very, very, very long time, just because of how tedious it is. Oh well, credits music is nice at least. I don't have numbers of defeat attempts against these guys because I didn't keep track, but most of them were in the double digits, so there's that. And that was Shadow of Ninja, also known as Kage in Japan. And thanks for watching the commentated version, which hopefully puts more insight into what I was thinking during this.